What is up, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, joined by RuFio. It's going to bring us a little bit of degeneracy in the form of a deck profile today. Hopefully, you guys will get the opportunity to check out very similar content and the vlog that accompanies how this deck went over on his channel. I will link that in the cards above as well. But Joe, start us off. What brought you to this list? What happened?
It was a long, arduous path and it all went downhill. No, it was one of those things, actually, just a short punt on myself. I got sponsored recently by the lads over at Jam Cards UK. Shout out to them. They are my channel sponsor, and I just happened to have the Numeron stuff kicking about. And yeah, I just wanted to play something with Numeron. I was playing the Invoked version, and I was fed up with that, and I just wanted to chop it up, and I just wanted something to last me the rest of the format. And then I was going through Jam's cards, and I saw Subterror, and I went, I hate myself. So why not put everyone else through the same pain? So here we are. So everyone looks as miserable as I do when they play against it. Or, you know, I lose really quickly, and in which case I look even more miserable than normal. So make of that what you will.
So I guess without much further ado, we will get into No Fun Allowed deck profile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Down the camera goes, zoom in, and anywhere around the midsection of this chest rig is
around yeah, we won't go there. So yeah, the whole concept behind this deck is, of course, protect the castle. So if you've played any kind of Numeron deck, you know, you can go second, try and OTK. Or, of course, if you go first, you hope to just Zexal lock them. They don't get to have any fun, and you set loads of back row. That's the aim of the game. So if you like either of those things, you're that kind of person, you might like this deck. Yeah. So we've got 3 copies of Guru, pretty mandatory, of course. You're playing Subterrors, arguably best card in the deck. This is what you're normally searching off of it because you want interrupts, and of course doing flippy things is always fun. This is kind of like niche scenarios where this comes up. So you can do things where you can obviously flip your opponent's cards face down, you can shuffle them back, it gets rid of problematic monsters, and of course it's Mystic Tomato for the deck, so it gives you another way to get the good one out. So that's it for the actual Guru cards. See, that's exactly how I built this deck is. I did toy with the idea of playing Umastrix. I'm not sold on it. It's a little bit bricky, I find, at times, but it's also really good, of course, for breaking up things. So that's up to you if you want to play it. I personally think, though, that this lineup is absolutely fine. Yeah. In terms of everything else, so 3 Numeron Wall because it gets you into the field cards. We've got like I think 7 ways to get into it. I've actually cut set rotation, which I'll get into in a moment, but it gives you too much conflict basically between your engines. So triple Numeron Wall, and a worst case scenario, it sits in your hand, and then if you're about to die, then there's a chance you stay in the game because you only get 1 attack off. So kind of fringe benefit. 3 copies of Ash to round off our monsters. I do feel like more hand traps could be a good thing, especially in the current format, but there's really not a lot of space. That's the issue. So 3 Ash, I mean, 3 Ash is good in every format, and it's no different now. And again, you can just slide into more hand traps if you really need them.
For sure.
And that rounds us off for the monsters, so we go into our spell lineup. So we got 3 Hidden City. It flips things, basically. Numeron Network. It OTKs or you make Zexal. This card is insane. It loses to Ogre, unfortunately, but pretty much everything else is great. It doesn't lose to Ash because it sends this for cost, which is really, really cute because they always show you the Ash and you go, thanks for letting me know you've got one, but it doesn't do anything. So that's great. Terraforming because we play field spells. There's no reason not to play it. We are running triple copies of Memories of Hope. So we already know that this is broken. I'm sure I don't need to explain the fact that draw 4 is pretty funny. There could be a toss-up whether you prefer to play Extravagance or not. The only reason I'm not playing it is because I need targets to play against Ligma or Dogmatic or Dragma, whatever the hell they called it now. You need targets for that, and I think there's just too many one-offs now that you need to include in the extra deck. But you can play Extrav if you prefer. I just like the fact that draw 4 means you normally just win if you resolve it, basically.
I think we discussed that the Numeron list just really, like, the advantages you're getting from the Numeron system automatically outweigh the advantages of the Extravs.
Precisely that. We're running 2 copies of Call by the Grave. It was 3 at one point, but I like to play 39 cards, which we'll get into in a moment. Pretty obvious where this is going. So yeah, 2 Call by the Grave is absolutely fine. Again, hand traps are everywhere, so you want a way to be able to play against them, and that sort of helps you there. And of course, fringe benefits like, you know, banishing Eldritches and stuff like that's kind of cute. 1 copy of Upstart Goblin because 39 cards is better than 40. Definitely some scenarios where you can argue against that, but for the most part, I feel like 39 is perfect. die hard on that. We've got this, Dogmatic Punishment. This is a new inclusion for today. It's come up a couple of times. It's been pretty decent since you're including the targets anyway, right? In case they do it, in case they send from your extra deck, you want to be able to play. And of course, you set back row. So I mean, that's cute. I think 1 is fine. Like if you see it, it's great. If you don't, it's really not a problem. Like it doesn't matter. We run 2 copies of Final Battle. I think 3 is just cloggy. Most people don't get rid of this card. You've got way more important back row. In as much as it keeps things tipping along, you're normally going to have really problematic stuff like floodgates up that they need to get rid of.
Yes, absolutely.
So 2 is normally fine. And of course, it's searchable. It sets itself again because, Scrap Iron, Scarecrow and all of that. We have 3 copies of Can You Play Through This? The amount of games that this wins on its own is pretty obvious. Floodgates are, let's not get into that. But it's good in this deck. It's insane in this deck.
It's so unpleasant to see. I thought Sky Striker died with it.
The only thing I will say with this is that this is one of the areas of conflict that you have to watch out for. In the if you've got this face up on the field, it can really start to make you struggle to get into the other engines.
Yes.
And of course, if you try and go into Numeron when it's up on the field, you can only get 1, so that's a problem. Yeah. So we've got 3 imperms because imperm is imperm. Again, we needed more ways to be able to play, but also the fact that you can set it is cute. Being able to stop their back row through the column negation thingy bob. And then also the fact that if you go in second, you can, you play a mirror match, you go no Zex or no you don't, and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So pretty self-explanatory. Imperm pretty much mandatory at the moment, I feel. And then we round off with 3 copies of Solemn Judgement. Unfortunately, mixed printings here, but this is the good one, so I'll put this in the front so you can look at that. So 3 copies of this because this card is still insane. I've always said for years this is the most skillful card in the game, in my opinion. Still is.
Yes.
Still is.
Hardest card to play.
Yeah, if you play it wrong, you just lose. If you play it right, you just win that game. Could be strikes, potentially. I feel, though, a lot of people will side in a lot of spell and traps that are powerful to try and out your board. So it's normally good for most purposes, I should say. And that rounds off our main deck. We'll try not to waffle on too much. I do like a good waffle. So we'll go into the extra deck, which is all over the place. So I'll just put all the Numeron guys together. I should have probably sorted this part before we get in.
Call yourself a professional.
Oh, yeah, well, who cares?
I'm going to have to zoom out as well.
Oh, zoom out. Here we go. That's fine. I'll fix them all. Right, okay. So, despite this absolute mess here, we've got 2 Utopic Zexal, 1 in American, which does more things for you. You win more games when you summon this one. These are all targets for Ligma. So that you can play, pop in their cards when they send it's pretty funny. Being able to summon this off this is nice.
Yes.
This card is really, really good. A lot of the time this won't win you games against certain decks. And if you make this, you'll just auto-win because they don't have a way to out it. So that's those. And then we'll talk about the ratios of these real quick. So we're running, I think 2 of each. They look weird upside down. They all look the same.
Yeah, deal number.
Anyway, we're running 2 of all of them. Except this guy we're running 1 copy of. So this is the Chaos Gate. Not everyone runs this. I just like it as an option to be able to get rid of the field. If they've got something particularly sticky that you otherwise can't get rid of.
It's a big advantage swing, which a control deck like yours can definitely really benefit from.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're in a position where you can just banish everything and set 4, then you're good to go. So that's it for the extra deck. I'll just mush them out of the way. Okay, so we move on to... This is cool. We move on to side decks. So we're running 3 copies of Nibiru because... Triple Nibiru. Pretty self-explanatory. Nugget in people's nice. Debate as to whether this is still as handy at the moment. A lot of people are weary to it and play around it.
I've side decked it now, but I think when you're playing it against locals scenes, it's better for the rogue situations.
Yeah.
A lot of people are playing much more fun decks that you just want to stop.
Yeah.
If you're playing against meta, if we were going to a YCS, I don't think I'd even list it.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's insane. It feels bad to leave it out because it's so good, but yeah, that's up for debate. I mean, largely this is just a case of whatever hand traps you like. I mean, I'm playing this because I don't want to lose in the mirror.
It's so good.
And it's good against Halka Fibrax and stuff. And I think at the moment, the meta is in a place where this is actually useful. And I think this is a little bit like Droll has its formats where it's good. But I find it really good at the moment. But these could be anything, really. We're running triple Lightning Storm just because, if you are forced to go second, you need to be able to play.
Sponsorship dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I paid for only 2 of these, so... Yeah. 2 copies of Cyclone because we don't main any back row removal, and this is really good against any decks that involve invoked in any way, because of course you banish the invocation.
For sure.
It's good against Eldritch because you just banish it so they can't banish it. And it's good against stuff like Infernoble because you banish equips or whatever. It just gives you ways to play. This is the best card in the goddamn deck, actually. I changed my mind. This card, the Ultra Floodgate, that nobody hates for some reason. This doesn't get the same level of hate because everyone equally just...
I mean, I was pretty sad when I went into the matchup, so like... You got off to a good start.
It's sad when it gets used against you, but like if I asked you like the most degenerate floodgate out there, you wouldn't say this. But I think in some formats it really is. It's insane. But yeah, this deck doesn't really use the graveyard, so you don't give a whatever. And then D-Barrier, because this is really good at the moment. So many decks lose to this.
Oh yeah.
And being able to set it with all your back row, it gets lost with all the others. What a shame. For sure. But yeah, that more or less rounds off the deck. So. Mixture of thoughts. There is some conflict with some of the engines. That is something to think about. Maybe it could be a bit more refined. Of course, the argument about extravagance is up to yourselves. I think it's quite, I wouldn't say a fun deck because Subterror is not fun. But it's a good deck if you like upsetting people. I mean, I got death threats the other day, so someone prayed to Jesus that I died.
I'll be putting that in the opening.
Yeah.
I'll be stealing that.
Someone prayed to Jesus. This guy was playing Eldritch Trickstar. Eldritch Trickstar, and he says I'm the toxic one. He says, do you have fun with this deck? No, I'm not here to have fun. I'm not here to have fun. So I mean, Subterror, I don't like it, but it does the thing. It does things. Sometimes you just want to go and this is
it's a real Planet EH.
Yeah, man, it works. It works.
Well, any closing remarks or shout-outs to give before we start to close out the video?
Shout out, of course, to my sponsors, Jam Cards UK. Give me the hookup on all the cards, even if they are degenerate ones. Shout out to Mana Screw Locals. That's where we are today. Shout out to Jamie, of course, for bringing me onto the channel. Shout out to myself for being the best YouTuber in my street. Undisputed on that.
It's handy that I live over the road.
Yeah. He lives a few streets away, basically.
Things get dangerous when you change the postcode.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to move further away so I can claim a bigger area, But that's it. So, pretty much.
Thank you so much for the profile, Joe. Please, guys, leave a like if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new here. If you've never seen Joe at RuFiO, please do check out his channel. Links will be up in the cards above and down in the description below. Like I said, subscribe if you are new. Comment if you haven't already. Give us some feedback down below, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Peace out. Bye-bye.